I am the farmer here. My name is Narciso. These short trees, all these short trees, broadleaf trees, are all cacao trees. And we have here to teach you, show you where chocolate starts from. We have a lot of the green kinds, like this one right here. You know, green fruits start off green, they end up to be yellow color. They will give you yellow color when they're ripe and ready. And then the dark ones are no good. These are not ready to be eaten. It's just that they're no good. They're damaged. You need to get closer to see the flowers on them. You notice the flowers? Very, very, very tiny. That's where they start from. And look at the sizes of the fruits. We normally begin to harvest these farms around October, November each year. October, November, the harvest season begins. And then it runs continuously all the way up to June. They are short trees, but they can grow as tall as 30 feet tall. When they're fully grown, mature trees will be like 30 feet tall. These are still very young. They're just about 8 years going to 9 years old. They are juvenile.
So how old can they get?
Up to 40 years.
40 years?
40 years, they're for about 40 years.
Okay.
They become old, they become non-productive. So we just go and we chop them down. Then shoots will be popping all over. No need to replant. You choose another one shoot only to continue as another tree. But these are hybridized ones. They have shorter lifespan, up to 40 years. The local ones, the original ones that are in the forests that we've been farming before, we do not use to farm hybridized trees. These are hybridized ones. We do the local ones before. Those can live very long. They can live up to about 150 years. Wow. Now you can see for yourselves that chocolate is a fruit. Chocolate is a fruit.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're found southern Mexico, all the way southward as far as the Amazon in South America. That's where they've been in the wild on their own, just working, bearing fruits on them. No one using them yet except for animals. Our ancestors, the Mayas, are the native of the region here. And the Mayan civilization are the first humans that discovered the uses of these fruits right here under the forest. That's where it began, that's where it started out. Our ancestors made drinks from the seeds, hot chocolate drink. That's what our ancestors did. That happened a very long time ago. That happened somewhere around the 1800 before Christ. And it became a number one commodity. Very high class drinks within the Mayan civilization. Because they believed that these fruits is not from this world. They said it's brought over from heaven by cacao god here on earth. So they said chocolate is heavenly. So it's pure cacao drinks our ancestors been drinking those days. Because over here, those ancient times, there no milk, no sugar found here yet. So they drink the bitter drink, pure cacao drink. It became the drink of the high class people. Because it's heavenly. So it's the drink of the high class people, the elite, the nobilities, the priests, king, the queen, rich people. Those are the only ones who enjoy these drinks daily, not the commoners. But the commoners are the ones who do most of the work. Not just as drinks, it became the first source of money over here. It became as currency. Extracted seeds of the fruits are opened up, seeds extracted in containers, fermented seeds of the fruits are sun-dried. Properly dried cacao beans are bagged up. And again, no cars, no highways over here those days. So what they do with these load of cacao beans, they load them on their back. They load 30 men, 40 men with cacao beans on their back. And I directed throughout the region to do businesses. They trade dried seeds of the fruits in bags. That's what became as currency. It is still the high class fruit today, this time because of the health benefits. Well, they will taste bitter, of course, because you will be getting a lot more cacao solids in your chocolate then. Those chocolate will be rich with chocolate solids in it. When it is bitter, it is better, my friends. This is a ripe fruit from the red ones, but they will show yellow color. That's when they're ripe and ready. Then these are the green kind. They also will give yellow color on them when they're ripe and ready. So, and we take them off the tree, we slice them off, put them in the bags until the bag is filled up. These farms takes about for between 5 men or 4 men. It will take 2 days to 2 days and a half. We use a club to open them up. We walk them in the middle, like this, and it breaks open. Then this is the starting of chocolate, my friends. It's not like chocolate yet, it's a fruit, right? It's a fruit. This is what it is. You'll grab a bean, you'll come forward, grab a bean, put the whole thing in your mouth to taste, just suck on the bean.
Oh my gosh, it's everything. It's sweet, it's sour.
Yes, it's everything. You said it right. It has a ton of flavor on them. It's tart, it's fruity.
It does taste
Kind of like candy-like. It's like kind of candy. Kind of like mango. Kind of like banana. Kind of like watermelon. Kind of like lychee. Kind of like that candy, Jolly Rancher candy. It's everything. It's everything.
That's what the chocolate is made from.
This is the seed that made into chocolate. So it's our job to pull them out. All by hand. We scoop them out, we strip them out, load them up in containers. Each time we harvest. We do not harvest every day, that's the only thing. We harvest every 10 days or every 2 weeks. Then this load of cacao beans and tails are dumped into those wooden boxes to ferment. That's where you get richer. That's where your quality is added on top of quality. That's where you get your aroma, your flavor, and all good taste of chocolate. That takes place in those wooden boxes while they ferment. They'll be in there to ferment for 6 days. Raw yeast with raw bacteria builds up heat in the boxes. Get hot in there. With the help of the heat and these 2 probiotics, it will clean the pulp off the bean. It will break it down. It will liquefy. Then there will be juices coming from these boxes. Lots of juices coming from these boxes. Those juices are collected. We catch those juices. We sell them to the factory. At the factory, they're made into wine. In the last and the final stage, 5th and the final day, they'll be in stage of vinegar alcohol stage. That's when they're done. Fully fermented bean. They're done. No more than 6 days. We pull them out of the boxes. We spread big tarps outside first or under dryers. We dump this bean on these tarps to sun dry the bean until they're fully dried. We bag them up. Whatever we get as farmers. Everyone else. We sell our cacao beans to that little factory where we all go next to make chocolate.
Well, welcome to Chelma and Chocolate. My name is Julio Saki, and myself and my wife started this little business in 2010. And the whole idea evolved after I have given up on everything else except not life. You can't give up on life. It's too good to give up. So we have to keep fighting, starting with something new, something different every time. That's where we drag people in and teach them and show them and let them feel and taste a little bit of my culture. If you walk into our home and then you just don't treat the people right, it affects us. It affects the culture. Or if people feed, if the Maya person feed you and you take their food and then as they turn your back, you throw it away. It hurts because you know why? They don't have the money to buy. They grow it. It took them months to get there. And when they give it to you, they give it to you with everything they have. And not showing that appreciation is a total disrespect to their dignity. And it hurts them. So the next time you go, even if you're starving, you're not going to get it. Right? Because they know you will not respect them for that. So it's everything. It's not only you can't just pick one part of the culture. It's just everything.
My name is Pampulo, and I will be with you every step of the way until that chocolate bar is made. And of course, the first thing we need to do is wash our hands because they will be having our hands on. I would like to start off as to where the farmer left you off with, which is fermented and dried chocolate beans. These fermented beans contains a lot of health benefits like iron, zinc, copper, magnesium, potassium, theobromine, antioxidants, so it's really rich when it comes to health. Now, a lot of people may not like it because of the taste. So what will happen now is I will pass this ball around. I would like you to take a bean. I would like you to bite on the bean, chew on the other half, and look inside the other half. So I want you to understand that every time you get these foods, these beans, the flavor will change, especially if it is processed right. When the farmer brings that bean to us, it is up to 4% in moisture. So now our job is to remove that last remaining 4%. That means that we need to do what we call roasting. Roasting is done on a clay griddle. Why a clay griddle? Because a clay griddle does not burn our beans. Now once we have the charcoal under the clay griddle, we use our hands to do the turning. We do the turning for about 1 hour 30 minutes. So it will be not too hot, not too cold. So how do we know? If we touch the griddle too much, that means it's too cold. If we then cannot touch the griddle, that means it's too hot. So we do that for 1 hour 30 minutes. Now, what I would like you to do is come forward, get a bean. And you can see that our beans is not burned. It is only light roasted. So what our next step is to take this bean to a machine we call a crusher. There is nothing fancy about this machine. All it does is break the beans and then separate the beans, the inner part of the beans, which is called the nibs, separated from the shell. This is the nibs. This is the inner part of the beans now. This is what we'll be using to make our chocolate. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this nibs and we're going to put this on this 180-year stone. This stone has been in our family for over 180 years. So what we will do is you will pull and you will pull. You do not want to quickly start doing a lot of grinding as yet. What you want to do is just crush it so that it becomes smaller. Now once it is crushed, what you do is go to the bottom and you put your body weight or upper body strength, and either way. So now you start adding that pressure. As you can see, a small portion of chocolate passing through between the stone while you are creating this friction. We only need to grind for about 3 to 4 hours non-stop, and then we have a very, very smooth chocolate bar. Your hard work, this right here is 100% pure chocolate. Wow. You can come get a piece of steak and have a taste of it.
Me neither.
Our first ingredient that will be placed inside is something that everyone loves. What do you think it is?
Sugar.
You're right. If you look to the back over there, you will see a machine. It may not look much like a machine. That is because that is what we use, the Mayans. Because there was no electricity, there was no way we can press our sugar cane. So once the juice is collected under that and the machine over there, what we will do next is take our vanilla bean, cinnamon, and other Mayan ingredients that we place in there just to make sure that our chocolate is very unique. So that is what we place inside, and then we remove all the moisture out using heat. Once the moisture is removed, it becomes very thick like honey. Then what we will do next is put it in a mold, wooden mold though. There's no plastic mold, wooden mold. Then we keep that for about a week in there, and then flip it over because it becomes solid, and then we would then crush it. Take it to a machine we call pulverizer, then it becomes a powder. The question is, how much percent chocolate should we make today?
75.
As you may have seen, the sugar that we add inside is powder. When you add anything that's powdered to something that's oily or creamy, what happens? It becomes thicker, right? We don't want that. We want it to go back to the same percentage it was before. That's why we add the oil back. We will mix this together really well. This would be the time you can add flavorings. Once you add it in there, what you do is continue grinding. Okay, once you grind for about an hour, it will mix really well. So then what you do is place this in a refrigerator, and then you have your chocolate bar. And you can come forward and have a taste of your 75% dark chocolate.